I'm walking alone, the streets are empty. The only thing I can see is my own silhouette. I'm getting stronger, step by step. The clock is ticking, but there's no time for regrets. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe, trying to protect your soul. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Yeah. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight.
Yes, people, welcome back to Let's Talk Premier League. We are here for another episode of Transfer Talk. It's the last stream of the day. It's been quite a nice chilled out couple of days, but Euros is back and Formula One this weekend. So we've got a busy weekend ahead of us. But before we do that, please leave a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel with notifications on. If you're watching on Twitter, come join us on YouTube. Get involved in the comments, join our community. We bring you all of the up-to-date news. As you will see, Sancho was brought in yesterday. We went straight away live the minute we saw it. But I was about to end broadcast for some reason. What are we going to be talking about today? Well, we've got quite a lot to talk about, so let's get straight into it. So, Locatelli. There's a Locatelli update, so we'll be talking a lot about that. We're also going to be talking about Erling Haaland. Chelsea have made no contact with Erling Haaland with Dortmund regarding Erling Haaland. That's what reports say anyway. Chelsea, not City, are considering Antoine Griezmann as a replacement for Harry Kane if they cannot get him. We'll also be talking Anthony Martial and Van De Beek potentially exiting. If I just move that, you can see Donny is there. It was one of the magical moments Donny got off a football pitch. So we're going to be talking more about that as well. We're also going to be talking about Isak, who has signed a new deal with Real Sociedad. And last but not least, Billy Gilmour on the verge of the Chelsea exit. And I think I've seen a picture of him actually at Norwich. Plenty to talk about. That's what I want. There we go. So, Arsenal Locatelli, isn't it a loan, the Gilmour deal? Yes, but it's still him leaving. I'm good like this, you see. I'm good. On Locatelli, Arsenal sources deny making an official bid. There's a feeling Sassuolo trying using Arsenal's name to get Juve to offer more. This is from Charles Watt. He says, but I'm told Arsenal's interest in Locatelli is genuine and there has been contact between clubs. A move hasn't been ruled out. So straight away, they think this is basically Sassuolo trying to get more money from Juve. There has been no bid. There's been no contact. None of that at all. So basically, it's very short on that one. There's not a lot you can really say about that. Apart from Arsenal's no contact, there is interest, but we'll have to wait and see if a bid goes in. Bit on Chelsea and Erling Haaland. Chelsea sees Erling Haaland as a perfect striker, but as for now, there has been no contact between the club and Team Haaland. Right? There's been no conversations. I'm sure there's been a conversation between Chelsea and Dortmund. There has to have been. For him to be top target and you not even to contact Dortmund in the transfer window would suggest to me as a big issue. But that is via Jan Arg Fortoft. So tier 3, I think tier 2, well respected. No contact between Team Chelsea and Team Haaland. Manchester City, they are considering Antoine Griezmann. A report in Spain suggests Antoine Griezmann is Man City's alternative target if they can't secure a deal for 150 million rated Harry Kane. The France superstar is facing a big decision over his Barcelona future after the arrivals of Memphis Depay and Sergio Aguero. Obviously, we're also thinking Messi's probably going to sign a new deal to stay at the Camp Nou. So lots of things going on with Griezmann. Will Antoine Griezmann go to City? And if he does, is that a good move for City and Antoine Griezmann? That is the question I want you to answer. Hello, Wolf, my bro. My bro Velv, what's good? Yeah, that's on Griezmann. United, there's a bit of stuff on United as well. ESPN reports inquiries have been made by decision makers over the availability of both Anthony Martial and Donny Van De Beek already this summer. They claim United have admitted every player has a realistic valuation, but no final decision has been made of yet. Do you think that? Do you think United should sell Donny? Do you think he should be given a chance? Do you think United should sack Ollie if he refuses to play Donny Van De Beek? Because you can already see Donny is so much better than Scott McTominay and Fred. Should Ole Gunnar Solskjaer lose his job if he refuses to play Donny Van De Beek? Because you can already see Donny is such a talent, and Ole has got a history of ruining people's careers. You look at Brandon Williams, Axel Tuanzebe, Donny Van De Beek. He's trying to really ruin them. I don't know if he hates them or if there's a personal issue between Ole and these players, but you have to ask at some point, is Ole Gunnar Solskjaer purposely doing this? I'm not so sure. I mean, he very rarely makes changes anyway. So there is that as well. I mean, I'd love to gauge your points because I think Martial, yes, he should be sold. Donny should not be sold. Donny is far too good to be sold after one season where the managers refuse to play him. It's absolutely, utterly barbaric how Donny has been treated. And United fans should be absolutely raging if that were to happen. Absolutely raging. Because Donny is such a talent. You put a DM next to him that's actually a DM. You put a Rice or an Ndidi, Donny will look even better than he already did. I mean, I think Ollie has got it wrong on me. Really wrong. This season, he has to have a good season. Donny has to be used a lot more than he already is. That's just facts. He really, really, really needs to. Let's talk Isak. Isak has signed a new deal with Real Sociedad. Sweden striker Alexander Isak has been linked to Liverpool this summer, but Real Sociedad will be hoping he remains at San Sebastian after signing a new deal with them until 2026. Now, that doesn't mean that Isak is definitely staying. This could be a deploy to say, sign a new deal so we can get more money for you. That happens. It does happen. I mean, Jack Grealish is a prime example of it. Signed a new deal with Villa. Looks like he's on the move to City. It happens all the time. Players sign new deals and then they move away. That's completely normal in the world of football. But I suppose the question is, can Liverpool get him? And if Liverpool can't get him, if Chelsea don't get Haaland, is Alexander Isak a good replacement or a good person to bring in for Chelsea? Because they really need to fix this up. They either need to get Haaland or they need a backup plan. Their backup plan is Harry Kane. That is one heck of a risky backup plan, especially with you dealing with Daniel Levy. Wolf said, smile Wolf. Yep, all good. Max, fight me. Hey, Velv, pick on someone your own size. Okay. Ravi says, Ollie will know what the fans really think next season. Donny is a decent player, a baller, but Ollie ain't got a clue. Look, the fans are going to be in there. The fans are going to be at Old Trafford. He is really under a lot of pressure. Velvet's challenge will do a Pokemon battle. Lansy says, Donny Van De Beek to West Ham Moyes will turn him into Prime Gillett. I think Donny would do well at any top club. Any top club that have a good manager. I really backed Ollie a lot. I'm starting to think I cannot back Ollie anymore. Really starting to think I just cannot back Ollie. I don't think if he fucks up season or next season, however we're seeing it, if he fucks up, he needs to go. He does need to go, in my opinion. West Ham are rubbish. That's a bit rude. Jadon Sancho, 85 million euros. He plays on the right. Take him on, you'll lose the fight. No Valve, I want to fight an irrelevant human who thinks Switzerland will be Euros over the mighty Three Lions. Use fire, Valve burning. Nice. Okay. Having a full-blown, there's like a full-blown geek fight in the chat, which is lovely to see. Hit that like button there. Hit that like button. Gilmour. Let's talk Billy Gilmour, shall we? Chelsea. Billy Gilmour is on the verge of completing a loan move to Norwich with medical set up for the Chelsea starlet. Thomas Tuchel is keen for Scotland international to get regular first-team football next season with the view of him returning to Stamford Bridge. Gilmour is seen as a star of the future, but with intense competition in the midfield at Chelsea, it's been decided he will not be able to get enough top-flight action to help his development. With N'Golo Kante, Jorginho, Mateo Kovacic in his way, he'll be limited to cup games if he remains as part of Tuchel's squad. He is expected to be given a key role at newly promoted Norwich as Daniel Farke's side aim to avoid relegation after bouncing straight back up to the Premier League last season. Now, this one is really interesting one. This is a really, really interesting one. Because for me, Gilmour does need game time. But Chelsea fans also said that Gilmour is the greatest thing since sliced bread. So, I mean, it's really make up your mind. It's make up your mind. Is Billy Gilmour that good? Or is he the same as any young player that needs to get game time? Brandon Williams needs game time. Is Billy Gilmour Brandon Williams? Or is Billy Gilmour Mason Greenwood? If it was Mason Greenwood, it'd be in that starting 11. If Billy Gilmour was that good, it'd be in the starting 11, like Mason Greenwood is. It's as simple as that, really. So, Gilmour is a good player, but he's not the finished article. Not by any means. That is how I see it. But what I'm going to do, as always, I'm going to put the link into the chat. It's going to be it's a bit quicker today because when you do two, I mean, it's one of them. But links are going into chats now. If you want to come on and have your say, talk about anything. So we got a bit for everyone. And in fact, we've got Mr. Doncaster himself. How are we doing?
Not too bad, mate. Your audio keeps cutting out. I don't know what it is, but
fuck knows.
But no, some big stories. I mean, Gilmour leaving. I mean, to be perfectly honest, I know Chelsea's got a world-class midfield, but I expected Gilmour to maybe get a chance. But whatever, Norwich City on Norwich's side of things, I think they've picked up a really cool player. Donny leaving. Now, this is a weird one because they've unveiled the training kit today. United. He was spotted training with Fosu Mensah a couple of hours ago by Manchester Evening News. It's a weird situation for me. I think if Donny is leaving, then fair enough. In my opinion, it wasn't a Solskjaer signing anyway. I don't think he was the signing that he wanted. I think the club just, put that on him and said do something with him. So again, it's Solskjaer doing the job with both hands tied behind his back. But no, some weird stories, man. Locatelli to Arsenal's a weird one, but with Arsenal doing the business that they're doing, the rate they're doing their business, I mean, it's not completely out of the question. But no, it's a weird one. Literally, I've just been spending all afternoon and evening signing up for casting calls, but it's been a weird afternoon in the transfer market.
Yeah, it's no.
I've then forced him to left. I thought you left United.
FYI, someone who has named their name tag racist is not going to be coming on. So stop trying. I'm going to keep kicking you out of the studio anyway. I don't know why anyone would think that is even possible to happen. We're not stupid. Also, FYI,
people get away with it.
Is my audio better now?
Yeah, it's getting better. Yeah.
Yeah. Basically, I unplugged it and plugged it back. Fuck knows, I've been having some bloody god shit with all of it. Kenny, is that sausage in your mouth? Why are you cheating on?
It's great.
Interesting. Evening. Big up to Gareth. Big up to Gareth. But Lewis, what do you want to talk about, bro?
Let's talk about the Griezmann.
Antoine Griezmann, indeed.
Yes.
Yeah, what's up with that?
Is there on the article you have, Niall?
Yes.
Is there anything indicating a price about what Barcelona want for him, or is it just what you've heard?
No.
No price at all.
Right, okay. Because my thinking is, as much as he can play striker, he can play left winger, and it's not like Barca will let him go for cheap. They will want a lot of money. So if they're thinking of him over Kane, as much as they want Grealish, Griezmann can play left wing as well as striker, so they could use him on both. So, and it's also a matter of will they be able to afford both of Griezmann and Grealish? And like I say, it's not like he's stuck to that striker position. He can play left wing. I'm pretty sure he can play quite well as well. So it's really squeaky bum time for Man City on decisions, because they need to get it sorted. Otherwise, back in the transfer window, they could be looking who do we want to sign.
Yeah, there's that as well. I don't want to have to ban to require all guests to authenticate, but when you call me a fat cunt, I know exactly who this is. It's nice that he keeps watching our content though. That is some comments here. Jay says, "Hey people, I'm back." I feel like Jake is missing us. He keeps coming right at the end. I feel bad for him. But he is back. Nice that I'm not getting randomly timed out for a change. I got timed out yesterday. May I have absolutely no idea. Oh yeah, not a clue, bro. Kenny, what do you want to talk about?
Can I talk about...
Talk normally, please.
Can I talk about Griezmann to Man City?
I've just spoken about that. Do you want to take a different one else? It gets really repetitive.
Oh.
Right. Locatelli to Arsenal then.
Yeah, that's a good one, because after that I've got an update on Ben White, so go for it, Kenny.
I think I know
if it's the Ben White one, leave that one for me. I'm dealing with that one tomorrow.
Is that the one that's been put out? That's been
Yeah. I know the one you're about to say, and that is part of my plan for tomorrow's transfer talk. So please don't ruin my life, Alan.
Yeah,
I love you too much. I respect you too much to ruin my entire life.
No, of course. As soon as I realised it was that one, it was like, yeah. Say that for tomorrow. Go ahead.
Yeah, really, it's a really good story though. Really good story. Okay, I'm just gonna stop booting him out. You can watch from the back if you want. I don't care.
I mean, Man U's next priority is a Bruno contract. That's the only thing I've got new.
Yeah. I hear that. But Kenny, what do you want to talk about? Talk to me about Billy Gilmour.
Well, okay, Billy Gilmour is a football player who is moving to Norwich City Football Club.
Wow.
I did put a bit of if it helps.
Right, yeah. I mean, it would help if Kenny didn't give absolutely shocking opinions.
I wanted
that one.
To Arsenal.
We'll talk about Locatelli to Arsenal. Right. I'll get Aaron to discuss Billy Gilmour for me in a minute.
Yeah.
because I can trust Aaron not to be a turnip like you. Oh.
But since you uttered those words, Arsenal are having a good transfer window. Look what's happened. It's all falling apart. They're all falling.
Mhm.
London Bridge is falling down. With the Locatelli news, because the news tomorrow will also it's also awful news for Arsenal fans. But today, the Locatelli news, it's. I never thought it was going to Arsenal. I always thought because Arsenal, let's be honest, they would not pay that much money for bloody look, they would not pay this much money anyway. They don't pay this much money unless it's bloody Pepe, and even that was over like 5 installments. So they wouldn't pay the money anyway. So I was already skeptical about this Locatelli story, and every Arsenal fan was so confident that look, they're going to get him. Oh, look at this. Oh, Locatelli's so good. Look what's happening now. It's falling apart. Renato Sanchez isn't going to your club. You're not linked with him either. So no, it's not. It's not falling apart. Locatelli's not going. There's some other players that might not be going. A wink, wink. But yeah, it really is because Arsenal, if these awful down, what pull do they have in this transfer window? If these players like Locatelli from Sassuolo.
Well, I mean, they've pretty much sorted out Lokonga and Tavares, and they could sort out Ben White, but I mean, that's about all I've heard. Renato Sanchez and Locatelli seem to be the real transfer target, and it's gone from Renato to Locatelli, and now back to Renato again tonight.
I don't really see much of Renato though. They're definitely not going to get Renato Sanchez, I don't think. So,
yeah.
My thoughts on it all is that Arsenal, they won't end up having a good transfer window. I know everyone said, oh, look at this, oh, they get from these players like, oh, Locatelli, Ben White, I know we're players, Renato Sanchez. But look what's happening now. It's not going to happen, and the thing is, you can't trust Arsenal at all, because to be honest, you get here we go for bloody Arsenal, and then they still somehow bottle it. Somehow. What pull do Arsenal have apart from these few players? I'm like, Sassuolo, they nearly got. If they had ended up getting seventh, they wouldn't have any. Then Locatelli would not want to go to Arsenal because Arsenal don't have Europe, do they? You know what Sanchez, I know he's probably. I reckon he was hacked for that Instagram thing he did. I don't think it's real. I think it was hacked. So I don't think he wants to go to Arsenal. Real just won the league, the Champions League. Arsenal have no Europe. The only reason players even want to go to Arsenal is because of the Premier League. And that's why you see players like Ben White getting into Brighton. He wants to go to Brighton and Arsenal. In theory, on paper, it's a move up. But in reality, with how Brighton are going and how Arsenal go, it's probably a move down. It's probably a move down with how Arsenal are going because Brighton are pushing up and Arsenal to be down. They're in real danger of becoming solidifying themselves as a mid-table club, and then falling like maybe a Leeds, and then maybe one bad season, one bad run of results, and then they're suddenly in a relegation zone. So no, they don't have any pull power anymore. They don't have any pull power apart from these lower Premier League sides or Championship sides, and maybe these lower like the Congo and Tavares, like clubs are they? They're not really appealing leagues. They're not so many players who go to them their leagues. Because Premier League is very appealing for players in like Portugal and that. Because let's be honest, Premier League is the best league in the world. But of course, it'd be very appealing.
Yeah.
But other than those few players, Arsenal have no pulling power, and they are in very much danger. And Arsenal will not. Arsenal are just awful. Arsenal, since much of them worse now. It's falling apart. It will not happen. Yeah. Arsenal will be in the relegation battle next season. You heard it here first. I'm not even joking.
So Wolf says, I think Jadon Sancho will be our only transfer masterclass. The run will take a long time to sign. How many I could watch this space for longer? I say, maybe a start next week. Rice, West Ham, West 150. No, it will be about 90. I'm always waiting for fans for me. Big up Wolf though. Big up to Wolf. Always watching our content, which we love to see. But Aaron, you gasped.
Yeah, speaking of Arsenal, one of their former players, Donny Marlin, is officially on Borussia Dortmund's transfer list. That came from the Bayern journalist Christian Falk.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was on because Fabrizio Romano's joined this Twitch thing, I think, and he's been talking with Christian Falk, I believe, on Twitch tonight, and it's just been revealed that Marlon's on Dortmund's transfer list. So, very interesting story there. And also with Arsenal, I did put it in the private chat. Graham Bailey, the tier 1, tier 2 journalist, of course, from London, has been reporting that Man United and Arsenal both have James Tavernier from Rangers as a potential right-back option for the transfer market. Now, obviously on paper you're thinking, James Tavernier. Actually, as a backup right-back, so let's say Arsenal have him as backup to someone like Cedric, or if Bellerin's not going, and then almost United have him as a backup to Wan-Bissaka, and in some cases Brandon Williams can play at right-back. As a backup right back, that's actually not a bad transfer. And before anyone laughs, the reason why it's not a bad transfer is because he had a great season at Rangers. And I feel like he's had a good couple of years at Rangers, and maybe he deserves the big move. So as a backup right back, to get a few games ahead of the first choice, like cup matches, maybe a couple of Europa League or Champions League matches, it's not a bad transfer, in my opinion. So, again, Tavernier, great. Marlon on the Dortmund list. And, yeah, we're going to go on about Billy Gilmour, are we?
Yeah, if you could talk to me a bit about Billy Gilmour. I don't know if my audio is any more issues. God knows. God only knows.
It's still cutting in and out, but I don't know. What can you do? What can you do? It's technology.
I'll leave and then come back again.
I'll be in charge till you come back.
Yeah. You talk about Billy Gilmour, please.
Yeah, no worries. Billy Gilmour, like I said before when I came on, I think for Chelsea this is a major loss. Because I know it's a season loan deal, but it's still a major loss because he's an upcoming prospect. I think Chelsea's midfield needs it. For Norwich, though, and Kenny, you'll probably agree with me here, for Norwich, this is a wonderful signing on a season loan deal because what they've got here is an 18, 19-year-old that's going to flourish in the future of Chelsea Football Club. And what Norwich City are doing here is giving them the chance to develop him at the lower end of the Premier League and get him used to that kind of setup to make him work harder at the top end of the Premier League. So as much as I would have preferred him to stay at Chelsea and keep working on his development, get a few games in the next season, I think the move to Norwich could be a good thing on the other hand because getting more games than he would have done at Chelsea this upcoming season might be a good thing. And also the fact that he's working at the bottom end of the Premier League, towards mid-table, could be a great thing for his development and to put him in a setup where they've already been promoted as champions, they're already on a high. You're adding this major dynamic midfielder with so much potential in that Chelsea first team in the future. That's going to prove so much of a high for Norwich. It's also a great transfer as well.
Yeah, I mean, how do you... But firstly, is my audio better now?
A little bit, yeah.
I quit. But basically, do you see this as a good move for Billy, or is this like any young player? There's a lot of potential, but they just won't unleash it. What's your thoughts on this?
Well, like I said, to be honest, I was a bit surprised he wasn't allowed to stay in and fight for his place ahead of Conte, Jorginho. Yeah. But on the other hand, right now you just can't get in front of those midfielders. If they get injured, then what options do Chelsea have? That's another story. But I feel
that's I don't think people think about that too much. And not thinking, what if Kante gets injured? What if Jorginho gets injured? What if they get injured at the same time? I mean, you're fucked.
Well, I mean,
brave move from Tuchel. Brave move.
It's a very, very brave. I think I agree now. It's a very brave one. I'm looking at the midfielders, the centre midfielders they have in the squad right now. So, they've got Jorginho, Conte.
Yeah, I suppose you got maybe do a job in it. Could he? Maybe.
Yeah, and I'm looking at the other ones. The other, I guess you call them youngsters or up and coming players that you sort of see in the squad as well. So looking overall, then you've got Jorginho, Conte, Kovacic, Mount, Ziyech, Havertz, and I guess Tino and Jorin is the other one.
Havertz.
Yeah.
I don't want Andrew watching this kicking your ass.
No. I don't. No. Havertz. Take Havertz, Ziyech. Don't take Mount out, even though he can play.
There's only really Mount that could go into that double pivot.
Otherwise, it's between Jorginho, Conte, and Kovacic. The rest of them will be 18-year-olds. So there's on the injury front, there's no point learning out Billy Gilmour because you've got no other holding midfielders to bring in, unless they're going to be learning out Billy Gilmour in expense of bringing in new midfielders to compete with the current starters. And maybe the only way to explain this move is, one, Gilmour's development, but also two, they're bringing in a couple of new midfielders for multi-million pounds or euros. So that's the only way I can explain it.
They have to do something. They have to do something because
they've got to bring in new holding midfielders now, whether that's Camavinga and someone else from the Championship, whether it's a starter for about 40, 50 million and a Championship player that's like between 21 and 23, just as a rotational player. Even that's just perfect because you've got two midfielders then that can drop into that starting lineup when needed, and you've also got the youth players coming in as well. So for Gilmour, like I said, it's a good thing for his development, but on the other hand, the only way I see this move happening and why is because they're going to be bringing in a couple of new midfielders for holding positions. But if they don't, then I'd be very worried.
Yeah, Phantom of Many Topics says Gilmour is tiny. Gilmour is too small. A fan favourite, but not someone I want. I mean, it's an interesting look, an interesting thought on this. Do you think it has anything to do with it? I mean, look at Kante. He's a tiny little man, but he manages to boss midfields.
Exactly. I'm not using height as any excuse. I'm not using height as any segregation to his performances. If anything, his height should be a great thing because imagine putting him next to a taller holding midfielder. You've got a holding midfielder that's taller, more strength-filled. And Billy Gilmour, I see, as the pace-filled holding midfielder, the smaller, pacier holding midfielder that does the same kind of work as a taller, more stronger man. So you've got a real mix in your holding midfield. So I don't think it's because of height. I think it's just because of development or transfers.
Yeah, I hear that. I do hear that. Big up to Wolf, who has to go. We'll speak to you probably tomorrow.
Cheers, my Wolf.
I like the videos made by YouTube to react to new Love Island contestants. Let the roast session begin. I can assure you won't find that on this channel. We'll do many things on this. We'll do many things on this channel. We'll do Formula One, football. We'll do we'll even do rugby if that's a thing. But I know it's obviously a sport. But if we were ever to do rugby, never will I be reacting to fucking Love Island.
Big up my mate Will N.E. Big up my mate Will, who's reacted to those contestants.
Yeah, I don't watch it myself. It's trash. Also, someone that looks like this cannot judge what's on there. Not a chance. But I'm a chunky, I'm a sexy bastard in my own way. But we have Gilmour and Kante at the same time. Yeah, that is true. That would probably be an issue, wouldn't it? Yeah. I mean, look, Kante when he's in midfield look like he's about 45.
I mean, Gilmour and Conte at the same time. I would switch that. I would flip that, and I would say maybe Conte.
There's no way the son of praised Raheem Sterling. Surely not. Not one of the most racist papers there are. Surely they've not praised Raheem Sterling.
No way. Hang on, I'm fucking checking this shit.
Please do, because that is... If that is true, I'm not going to say anything nice about the Sun, but, credit where credit is due. Why people so fascinated by Love Island? Do me a favour, remove it from TV.
There's a couple
I would... Okay. Love Island is terrible. I just come for the roasts. Jay roasting up. I have a guarantee win on Western Bulldogs versus Sydney, July 9th. What's so funny? What's so funny?
Right, so there is a few headlines from the Sun that's positive. Raheem Sterling is a fighter, as England boss Gareth Southgate.
Oh.
Harry Kane and Sterling sent Southgate's heroes through and dumped bitter rivals out of Euros. Watch Raheem Sterling send whole of England wild after stunning build-up playing goals with Germany. And Raheem Sterling has emerged as the favourite to win best player of the tournament. They fucking entered a parallel universe, my guys.
I would just like to. I just want to quickly make a statement on the Sun. I don't know what you've been drinking. I don't know what you've been smoking. But smoke more of it, because this is the non-race bullshit.
Football's coming home, lads.
It is coming home. Football is coming home. I can guarantee you that.
But I want to
three lines on a shirt. Jules remain still gleaming.
I want to
dreaming of it all.
Thank you, Kenny. I wanted to answer that comment saying we can't have Gilmour and Conte at the same time. I would flip that around.
Conte is the manager. Kante is the
Kante and Gilmour. I don't want Winter Surfer wiping my ass. I think that having Kante and Gilmour to flip it around would actually be a good thing in the same squad, because you have Kante playing the main games, and to help his development if you need cup games or anything like that, you have Gilmour slipping into that Kante role. So again, that's another factor in why this loan might not be a good move from a Chelsea point of view. It's all positive, by the way, from an Norwich point of view, because what they've got is a long-term potential midfielder with so much pace, so much power, and has so much room to grow that can feed into a squad that's already got some class players, by the way. Tumu Puki, they've just lost Buendia, but they've still got the likes of Cantwell. So, they've still got some class players. But from a Chelsea point of view, one of the negatives is they're losing a player that could easily slip into that Kante role when Kante's not playing, because he can't play 90 minutes for all competitions all season, because it'll just tire the fuck out of him. So, unless you can fill that void by bringing in a Gilmour type player who's maybe a few years older for about 20, 30, 40 million for a starting role to compete with Kante for a starting role, that'd be my guess. But apart from that, from a Chelsea point of view, just positives and negatives. But from a Norwich point of view, it's all positives. If you're a Norwich fan, get fucking excited because you're not getting relegated, pal.
There's obviously positives to it. Max says, I want to come on. I'm considering which transfer to talk about. We'll just talk about any. Just come and talk about any. We'll be live for about the next 10, 15, 20 minutes, providing we keep the conversation going. Who watches live on these days? Golden Nile? Yes, that was when Kenny was singing. People didn't like that, Kenny.
I just got the end of Max's comment, by the way.
Yeah, about the cocaine. I mean, mad.
It's coming home. It's coming home.
Oh no!
Boss coming home.
Simba.
Do I have to remove you again, Kenny?
Yes.
Boss coming.
Yeah.
Right. Kenny, turn your volume up. I don't think so. I hope not. Please. Big up to Tom as well. You can't believe any transfer rumours because Chelsea doesn't release any real information to anyone, not even Fabrizio Romano. Look, we don't believe them all, but we do report on them all. But yes, Aaron, you said ooh.
Speaking of Fabrizio Romano, we have.
Has he just secured a new deal with the with Pornhub?
Nah, mate. This is
Tom Answer Show, guys. Thank you, Tom.
Cheers.
Let me just quickly run through the last few comments and I'll hand it to you straight away. Football Live, any Liverpool transfer news now? Are Liverpool doing any more deals? Liverpool are very difficult because they really do not give. Elf says Pornhub over Love Island. Kenny is going.
It's coming home. It's coming.
Remove. Thank you.
You can't really argue with that. Not every time Kenny his volume is too quiet. Well, he talks too much. But Aaron, what did you want to talk about?
So we've got an update from Rome, and we've also got an update from Marseille, which includes a Leicester player. So first of all, the Rome update. Jose Mourinho will arrive tomorrow in Rome, and Roma are moving on transfers. Talks ongoing to complete the deal for Granit Xhaka. Rui Patricio is set to join this week on a permanent deal from Wolves, which means that obviously from a Wolves point of view, they will be getting Jose Sarr as the replacement. From an Olympique Marseille point of view, we have loan to buy options almost done for 2 players. Paul Lopez, the goalkeeper, and the Leicester winger, Cengiz Under. Now, from his perspective, Under going on a loan with a buy option to Marseille. This gives a potential opportunity to give even more game time to the likes of Harvey Barnes. Now, with Under going, will Leicester still bring in a winger? I don't know what the situation is on Mahrez, whether he's staying at Man City or not, or whether Bernardo Silva's the one leaving, or Sterling's still frustrated on game time. Sterling, Silva, Mahrez. If I was Leicester, I'd be trying to look at, not obviously Mahrez because of the way they left, but if they patch things up by now, then maybe go back in for Mahrez, but probably not. But if Bernardo Silva wants to go somewhere where he gets game time and becomes pretty much a first-team starter, then you're probably looking here at a Leicester team that's fighting for top 4 again this season. But probably not. Silva will probably leave for Europe. Sterling, if he's leaving, will leave to one of the big teams if he's leaving. So I think if I was Leicester, I'd be giving more game time to Harvey Barnes, maybe bring in one more player to use the funds wisely from a potential buy option on Under's contract. But Under and Lopez loan to buy options to Marseille, and it looks like Xhaka will join Rui Patricio at Roma when Mourinho arrives tomorrow with Jose Sarr, the replacement goalkeeper, in Wolves' squad for Bruno Lage's first season.
Yeah, 100%. By the way, if you talk Formula One, I took some dude named Alonso for $1 to 150 to 1 odds to win the overall championship. I picked Alonso dude because Marcus Alonso's name. Yeah, you've just lost yourself $1. That's what all I'll say. Everyone in the world over Valve and Switzerland. And over Oasis, of course. I hear that. So for live, will we sign any more players? Summer? No, Liverpool will not sign anyone because Liverpool are shit. Veltran, I expect Liverpool to sign a midfielder. Nardo is target for AC Milan. Xhaka to Rome is close to being done. Interesting. And don't worry, Val, if you've got the thumbs up merchant. Yes, Thiago Silva, obviously the maker of the thumb up. But Lewis, talk to me. I can't remember what we were talking about today. Talk to me about Haaland. We'll briefly touch on this before we wrap up. Haaland, what are we thinking?
I think I'm in the same place as I was this morning. And I have been for the last few months even, not weeks. He's staying at Dortmund over the summer. He will not leave this window. He will not leave this season upcoming. If he's going to leave next season, it won't be to Real Madrid because that's where Mbappe is going to be next season afterwards, season after next. And if he's going to go anywhere, it'll probably be either Man City or Bayern Munich.
I hear Lewis. What about you?
So what, at the minute, is it there have been no contact as of yet?
No contact between Chelsea or Team Haaland.
Right, okay. I do expect some communication between the clubs, between Chelsea and Team Haaland, whatever that is, some point this summer. But I don't think it will happen, especially with now Sancho is effectively done for United. So I don't think Haaland will leave. I think Haaland will be a Dortmund player going into this upcoming season.
Yeah, I do hear that. Mac, says, when is I hear that merch coming out now? You can do company merch on YouTube when you hit 1,000 subscribers. So you know what to do, guys. If you want, I hear that merch, which I don't know why you would, but I do hear that. Then subscribe, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and you can have merch. If I offer dare you, do not disgrace teams like Plymouth and Hull and others like them. Maybe DIFC if they count as best teams. They're getting relegated. 150, shall I say, not 150 mil, not 150 pounds. Liverpool probably still couldn't afford that. Yeah, it's a really odd one, but I want to briefly end on Donny, Van De Beek, and Anthony Martial. Kenny, I'll start with you. What's your thoughts on this, and how much of a disgrace is Ole Gunnar Solskjaer?
I don't think either of them will leave, but if they were to, I'd be very, very angry. Yeah, I think Martial is good squad depth. Donny Van De Beek.
Don't want to annoy good old Kenny, do you?
You need squad depth. Now, I think I'd probably go to Ole's house, tell him to his face, and then tell him to his face that he should keep them, and then get Martial and Donny Van De Beek on the phone, get them to FaceTime him, get him to keep them, and then I don't know, steal his contract and then sign it, and then actually no, I'll probably kill him and then disguise myself in his body, and then we'll have the United job. So technically, I will bring the glory days back next season. If we win the league, remember, it's because of me. I'm joining Man United next season as manager. Because of me, I'm winning the league, but don't tell him, please.
Should we be calling 911 right now?
We're not in America, Aaron.
911. Are you from America, Aaron?
Sorry, I've been listening to a lot of Americans. 999. Immediate service. We're in the hands of a murdering scum.
I know. No, police, no, please, police. You only just do one, no.
The fuck?
Haaland is more complicated than Lukaku. His agent, really much drama. His salary demands will destroy our wage structure and make Mason Mount mad. No thanks. I love how he goes, and he'll make Mason Mount mad. It's like, why would he make him mad? You're not going to time him out now. He said England for shit. I just tend to ignore Velshwa. Martial will stay and win Ballon d'Or, which will give Monaco some money. I don't see that happening. Martial is a smarter player than Rashford, lads. He may well be, but his work ethic is atrocious. Ollie is a trooper. You can't blame Ollie. He has to be a peacekeeper. When you don't have a wit, all you can do is his honeypot. Look, Ollie's a huge issue. Ollie is a major issue.
If he goes on to win the league, I'll apologise about him. But
right, firstly, I'm not going to read that name out. And secondly, bad for Overshot. Big up to Jay, though. You shouldn't silence Kenny singing. It brings in the views.
It's coming home. It's coming.
Oh.
It's coming home. It's coming.
Remove.
I've got a Romano update before we wrap up. I'd rather hear that
please.
than Kenny.
We've got time.
1-0 the score.
Remove,
second, Ed Robert. Check. Third, 1-0.
I've never heard that lyric. Is that a hidden lyric for a reason because it doesn't make sense? Oh no, hang on, Niall. This is the perfect time to use that Grandpa Joe Simpson's gif again. Yeah, I'm a walk out, thank you very much.
Get gone.
It's coming home. Football's coming home.
I don't know how to feel when I don't know how to feel when if Man U win the league next season. I don't know how we're going to feel when Kenny just comes in singing it all the time.
That we're gonna win the league. We're gonna win the league.
There's more chance of Donny winning our league than Man U winning at the minute.
Chelsea E3. City. They are.
Right.
Kenny,
Right, I have
Kenny,
a final update.
I'm losing viewers at the moment now. Messi is 34-year-old free agent. David Sullivan loves 83 and 4-year-old agents. David Sullivan will not love his wages though. Not getting carried away, but newspaper article titled "Kenny, a murdering man on the loose." Man who is supposedly called Kenny is being hunted down by the FBI. Will be captured immediately after being spotted. Kenny is destined for musical greatness.
Thank you for starting me again. It's coming. It's coming. Oh.
Enough. Aaron, you don't know the lyrics to shit, so Kenny, get out of here. United will not win the league just because one player.
Players.
You should cut and be sure YouTube videos into football groups on Facebook. Your goal is 1,000 subs. Super chat. Look, we're growing naturally. We're doing very well though. But if you can share us around, get as many people watching the content as possible, it's always much appreciated by us all. As we've got every social but Facebook. Just because I don't use Facebook, I really don't use Instagram or TikTok either. But Matt does TikTok. Ken keeps on with his singing. This is true.
And I can disguise myself as him. My master plan will work.
Excellent. But yeah, Aaron, you had an update. What do you want to say, and then we're gonna end it today.
Yes, this involves PSG and Everton. PSG want Moise Kean back. It's only a loan negotiation with buy option included, as reported a month ago. No permanent deal bid. Now Kean wants to join PSG. Leonardo is now waiting for Everton's answer. It is up to Rafa Benitez. So the final decision comes with Rafa. It depends on if he wants Moise Kean or not. If not, it's a loan to buy over to PSG. But yeah, that is your last Romano update of the Let's Talk Transfer show, late night show.
Yeah, obviously it's the late one tonight. Currently, from people, let's go 100%. Keep sharing the channel on your socials, people. Yes, please do. Get as many people subscribing. Lots of content coming next season as well. Obviously, we're doing the Euro as well. Swiss versus Spain watch along at 4:30 tomorrow. Belgium, Italy tomorrow at 7:30. So if you want to be a part of either of them, let me know. Aaron, do you want to do Belgium, Italy tomorrow?
Belgium, Italy?
Yeah, mate.
Yeah, go for it.
I thought I'd offer you the big match weekend. I'm most likely.
It might. I've got a feeling it will be the most boring match because it's two negative teams, but it might be worth a watch.
There's no need to call Kenny boring. That's just rude.
No, Italy and Belgium.
Whoa, Aaron! Whoa! What was that?
I've seen more positive football in Czech Republic.
I am not boring. You can breathe.
Right, it was starting to give me a headache.
Can we hear him backstage?
No.
I want Lukaku to win the Euros. That will convince Abramovich that Lukaku is better deal than Haaland.
He's not going to Chelsea. He's not going.
Shush. I'm ending it. Hey, Kenny, seriously.
Kenny! I've heard worse from chicken shop workers on the X Factor.
You're also giving me the biggest headache in world football. But before we wrap up, please leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel with notifications on. Check out our socials, Twitter, Let's Talk EPL, Instagram, Let's Talk EPL _, and on TikTok, Let's Talk Premier League. Aaron, where can they find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Aaron_Challoner, TikTok at Aaron Challoner, Snapchat Coaster_Chal19, Instagram at Aaron Challoner Official, both channels Coaster Chal and Feral Football PRSC on YouTube. Keep up the uploads on Let's Talk Premier League. Keep living the Coaster life. Keep living the Rovers life. That is full time. We'll see you guys in the next stream. And Kenny, no offense, pal, but I've heard more deluded X Factor contestants singing better than you.
Shut up. No.
Agreed.
You're gonna get me to sing another one.
No, thank you. Lewis, where can they find you, bro?
You can find me on Twitter at LewisPay160, and you can find me on YouTube at Perry Sports.
100%. Phantom says, you have a good attitude. You already hit that 1,000 sub goal. Much appreciate me, mate. Means a lot. I think Italy will win 2-1. Belgium, England will win 2-0. Swiss, a 2-1 thing. We'll be doing predictions, obviously, in the build-up of them games. But Kenny, where can I find you?
You can find me at Sancho is here. Let's talk PL. Kenny TV on YouTube, and finally, Kenny the United fan on Twitch. I'm gonna make you hear me through your headphones.
And on that note,
I've just hit the notification button too. Much appreciated, mate. Much appreciated. Much appreciated. Indeed. But Jay says best of luck with the channel. Yeah, thank you. But yeah, we'll be back tomorrow with Transfer Talker 3. But until then, guys, thanks for watching. Have a good night. Until next time, peace out, guys.